There's lots of folklore, lots of myths, and this is where it's great to have the actual data and to have academics combing through that data set and to be building out that data set so we can debunk some of the myths. So some of the interesting myths are around cats, for example. So having cats in the video won't make it more shareable. I know this is really hard to believe, and it makes me quite upset because I have a cat and I post videos of her and she's absolutely gorgeous and she's called Tabby. But there are millions of cat videos that nobody ever shares, and what we see are the cat videos that are being shared. It's the same with baby videos, and funnily enough, the same with celebs. So there's also a myth that if you pop a celeb into a video, that it will immediately become more shareable. Not true. Celebs can be amplifiers, so if the content's already very funny, very moving, very exhilarating, then a celeb can help that, but in itself it won't drive shareability.
So there's this thing called Zuckerberg's law, right? So Mark Zuckerberg apparently said that year over year sharing is going to double. And we saw that sort of amazing chart that you had beginning in 2006. But is this really a law like Moore's law, or is it more like Zuckerberg's wishful thinking?
It's certainly been true. Whether or not it will continue to be true is a different matter. And in fact, signs are that it's not going to continue to be true as we approach something called content shock. And content shock is the idea that there's only so much content that we as humans can absorb. So absolutely, the amount of content that's being created is increasing exponentially, but the amount of content that we're going to be able to consume and then share is limited by the number of hours in the day. But this is where it's great for brands who invest in creating fantastic content, because it really raises the bar. The challenge here is for brands to break through all that clutter and create the content that people want to watch and share.
So just as we have clutter, on television, 8 minutes out of every half hour is now devoted to ads, we have clutter on the social web.
We absolutely do. And this is the other reason why paid media is so important if you want to make sure that your video has the best chance of success. Because it's hard to compete with friends and family. Think about when you're on your social feeds, you're seeing all the news, or what your friends are up to, what your family are up to, new babies, parties, and that's what brands are competing with. They're not just competing with other brands, they're competing with all the content that's out there on the social web. And this is why we believe very strongly that brands should rethink their strategy towards connecting with consumers. And create content that genuinely is shareable and that will entertain their audiences.